Hello, good afternoon, I'm Steve Saul. Welcome to North West Today. The headlines this Thursday lunchtime. The lorry driver jailed for causing the death of a young mother after she was hit by a stabiliser from his truck. Caroline Ahern's brother urges support for the cancer charity that helped her. And song and support the Bolton Choir with more than music in common. A lorry driver from Birkenhead's been jailed for 4.5 years after being convicted of causing death by dangerous driving. Natalie Thorpe was killed when an insecure crane on the back of William Stewart's truck hit her at a pedestrian crossing in Altrincham. Mark Edwardson's been at Preston Crown Court for Stewart's sentencing.
Natalie's family were looking on as Stewart was sentenced here at Preston Crown Court earlier today. Some with tears in their eyes, others just angry stares. The court heard that Stewart was rushing back home on June the 4th last year and hadn't secured the crane or the stabiliser legs on the back of his truck. An alarm was sounding, but he ignored it with fatal consequences. As he turned a corner in Altrincham, one of those 6-foot metal legs swung out, hitting Natalie as she was waiting to cross the road. The judge, Heather Lloyd, remarked upon Stewart's lack of remorse during his trial, as did investigators.
He's not appeared to show any remorse. At no point has he realised the full gravity of what he's done. He's tried to blame other people, he's tried to blame the people who trained him, he's tried to blame other employees who gave him the informal training on site of how the device should operate, and all the time he's tried to offset the blame to other people.
A victim impact statement was read to the court, which had been written by Natalie's mother. In it, she talked about consoling her grandson, 12-year-old Lewis, Natalie's only son. She said that they were looking at the sky, and Lewis remarked that Mummy is with the stars now. As he left court to start his 4.5-year sentence for causing death by dangerous driving, Stewart gave a thumbs up to a friend in court. Mark Edwardson, BBC North West Today at Preston Crown Court.
There's to be no further action over sex abuse allegations made against the former Rochdale MP Cyril Smith. Greater Manchester Police say 29 people made allegations, including claims of rape and sexual assault by Smith, some related to the Knoll View Boys' School in the town. Allegations against the former politician became public after his death in 2010. Talks are taking place today over how to make cuts to Greater Manchester's fire service after managers agreed to withdraw plans to sack the area's 1,200 firefighters unless they agreed to new shift patterns. The fire brigade's unions oppose the move. Ministers are blatantly ignoring safety concerns about smart motorways, according to MPs, who claim that safety could be put at risk by turning the hard shoulder into an extra lane of traffic on some routes, including parts of the M60, the M6 and the M62. The government says safety is a priority, but the Transport Select Committee wants a review of the plans.
It is possible to make motorways much more effective and to reduce congestion by having better technology and closing lanes when they're required to be closed. But to remove the hard shoulder all of the time does introduce new safety concerns which haven't been addressed.
And a new roller coaster is being built at Blackpool Pleasure Beach at a cost of more than £16 million. It'll be called Construction 18 and is said to be the first ride in Britain with a double launch, giving it a high-speed propulsion at the start and then again halfway through. It's due to open in Blackpool in around 18 months' time. Looks good, doesn't it? Now, the Wythenshawe comedian Caroline Aherne was just 52 when she died from cancer in July this year. She was, of course, best known for her roles in The Royal Family, The Fast Show, and as the brilliant chat show host Mrs Merton. One of Caroline's dying wishes that her brother Patrick does all he can to raise money for the charity Macmillan Cancer Care. Earlier, I spoke to him a short time ago and asked him how crucial Macmillan's help had been.
They were absolutely amazing. I mean, I didn't know that much about Macmillan until Caroline first got the lung cancer in 2014, and they were fantastic for Caroline, supportive for Caroline, and helped my mum and myself to deal with it. And like I've said many times, if it wasn't for Macmillan, I think Caroline's last 18 months of her life would have been a lot worse than they actually were. So.
And the news of Caroline's death came as a shock to everyone, really, because we knew she had cancer, but her death came so unexpectedly.
Well, we kept the actual news that she had 3 months to 12 months private, but we thought that it would be a longer event than a short one. But just one day she went, and that was it. You know, and the only good thing to remember is that she got rid of her pain. You know, that's the one thing that made us a bit positive about the fact that she actually had gone.
And her dying wish to you was that she wanted you to get involved and promote the work of Macmillan Cancer.
Yeah, because as I said before, I didn't know that much about them. I know quite a lot now, but I know what they did for me, I know what they did for my mum, and I know what they did for Caroline. And she knows that if there's something that we could do to help other people that are dealing with the thing that, you know, cancer does for you, we should do it, and I'm happy to do whatever I can.
People watching at home will know Caroline on screen through her characters, Mrs Merton, The Fast Show, The Royal Family, but what was she like as a family member, her sister?
Caroline, she was very much down to earth, you know, she was... She always had this one thing about watching people, and she'd find funny things that we wouldn't find funny, and then she made them into something special. But she was generous, she was considerate, she always put people first before herself. And, you know, like I said, you know, when I first found out when she died, you know, that I've lost a real good sister and a real good friend.
And finally, tomorrow is the big coffee morning for Macmillan. That's taking place. How can people get involved?
1 in 3 people are get diagnosed with cancer, and if that 1 in 3 people can be helped by Macmillan, you know, in any shape or form, it's something that we should do. So just do whatever you can tomorrow get the coffee morning sorted out and get your cakes done.
OK, Patrick, thanks very much for your time today. And you can see more from Patrick at 6:30 tonight. Well, cancer patients and survivors in the North West have come together to offer each other song and support through a unique choir. Now, you don't need singing experience to join Bolton Cancer Voices, but you do need to have been given a cancer diagnosis, and they're looking for more members. Dave Guest has been to meet them.
Clearly, they share a love of singing, but the members of this choir all have something else in common.
Christmas week 2009, I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2013.
I was diagnosed with cancer last year.
The condition I had was pseudomyxoma peritonei, which is quite a rare cancer.
I had cancer of the esophagus.
I've had a tumour in my left lung.
They're known as Bolton Cancer Voices.
I wanted to do something that was different, that supported cancer patients, but in a very fun, inspirational way. So they could come and leave the cancer at the door and come and sing and have a laugh and just enjoy life and normality.
Well, the choir are planning a number of public appearances in and around the Bolton area during December, and they're always on the lookout for new members. They're not particularly bothered about singing ability, but to join, you must have been diagnosed with cancer at some point in your life. Oh yes, and they're particularly keen to get a few more men involved.
Some lovely singing now. Let's take a look at the weather now this lunchtime. Let's get the details from Lucy Martin.
Good afternoon. Well, there's certainly a more autumnal feel with the weather today. We've still got some decent sunny spells on the way this afternoon, though just 1 or 2 isolated showers to look out for as well. Putting that detail on the map then, we've lost most of the breeze that we saw earlier today. Still plenty in the way of brightness around though, just 1 or 2 showers to look out for, and those temperatures at a maximum of 18 degrees Celsius. As we move through this evening and overnight then, we hold on to those showers. Still some clear skies around and some patches of cloud, and those temperatures will fall to a minimum of around 8 or 9 degrees Celsius, so it'll be quite a cool evening. So it's a chilly start to the day tomorrow, still some showers to look out for, some sunny spells in the mix as well, and those showers have the potential to be quite heavy and potentially contain some thunder and even hail.
Not looking so good, is it? Bring back the sunshine from the summer, that's what I say. We're back at 6:30 tonight. Roger and Annabelle will be with you. Until then, from me though, have a very good afternoon. Goodbye.
Sid puts his foot in it with Jimmy and Aisha. It's